Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Reading time, 15 minutes, 8 blinks. Blink 1, Two Fathers, Two Mindsets, How Different Beliefs About Money Shape Your Financial Future. Robert Kiyosaki had two father figures with completely different approaches to money and success. His biological father, the poor dad, was highly educated, worked hard, and believed in getting good grades, finding a secure job and working for money. His best friend's father, the rich dad, was a high school dropout who built a business empire and believed in making money work for him. Poor dad represented the traditional mindset that most people learn. Go to school, get good grades, find a safe job with benefits, work hard, save money, and invest in a diversified portfolio for retirement. This approach focuses on job security and working for money throughout your life. While this path can provide a comfortable middle-class lifestyle, it rarely leads to true wealth. Rich Dad represented an entrepreneurial mindset focused on financial education, building assets, and creating passive income streams. He believed that working for money was a trap and that true wealth came from having money work for you. This approach requires taking calculated risks, learning about business and investing, and thinking like an owner rather than an employee. The fundamental difference between these two mindsets is their relationship with risk and money. Poor Dad saw risk as something to be avoided and money as something to be saved. Rich Dad saw calculated risk as necessary for wealth building and money as a tool to acquire assets that generate more money. These contrasting philosophies shaped Kiyosaki's understanding that financial success is more about mindset and financial education than about income level or formal education. Many highly educated, high-income professionals struggle financially because they lack financial intelligence, while some people with modest educations build substantial wealth through business ownership and smart investing. Blink 2. Assets versus liabilities, the foundation of financial intelligence. The most important lesson in financial education is understanding the difference between assets and liabilities. Rich Dad's simple definition: assets put money in your pocket while liabilities take money out of your pocket. This distinction is crucial because building wealth requires accumulating assets while minimizing liabilities. Most people think their home is their biggest asset, but Rich Dad would argue it's actually their biggest liability. A personal residence requires mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and utilities, all money flowing out of your pocket. While a home may appreciate in value, it doesn't generate monthly cash flow, making it a liability from a cash flow perspective. True assets include rental real estate that generates positive cash flow, businesses that operate without your constant presence, stocks that pay dividends, bonds that pay interest, and intellectual property that generates royalties. These assets work for you 24/7, generating income whether you're working or not. The wealthy focus on acquiring assets first, then using the income from those assets to buy luxuries. The middle class and poor often do the opposite. They buy liabilities thinking they're assets, or they buy luxuries with their earned income, leaving little money to acquire real assets. Understanding this distinction changes how you view every financial decision. Before making any purchase, ask yourself, is this putting money in my pocket or taking money out? This simple question can dramatically improve your financial decision-making and help you build wealth faster. Blink 3. The importance of financial education. Why schools don't teach money management. Traditional education prepares people to be employees, not business owners or investors. Schools teach academic and professional skills but ignore financial education, leaving most people financially illiterate despite being highly educated in other areas. This gap in education explains why many smart, hardworking people struggle financially. Financial intelligence consists of 4 main technical skills: accounting, investing, understanding markets, and law. These skills are rarely taught in school but are essential for building wealth. Most people work hard for money but never learn how to make money work hard for them. The wealthy teach their children about money from an early age, giving them a significant advantage. They learn about assets, liabilities, cash flow, and investing as naturally as other children learn to read and write. This early financial education creates a foundation for wealth building that lasts a lifetime. Financial education is not just about making money. It's about having options and freedom. When you understand how money works, you can make informed decisions about your career, investments, and lifestyle. You're not dependent on a single source of income or at the mercy of economic changes beyond your control. Blink 4. Mind your own business. The difference between profession and business. Your profession is what pays your bills, but your business is what makes you wealthy. Most people confuse their profession with their business, spending their entire careers building someone else's business while neglecting their own wealth-building activities. The key to financial freedom is minding your own business while excelling in your profession. Minding your own business means building and acquiring assets that generate passive income. This might include starting a side business, investing in rental real estate, buying dividend-paying stocks, or creating intellectual property. The goal is to build income streams that don't require your active participation. Many people increase their expenses as their income grows, a phenomenon called lifestyle inflation. They buy bigger houses, more expensive cars, and luxury items, but these purchases are liabilities that increase their monthly expenses. Instead of building wealth, they build a more expensive lifestyle that requires them to work harder and longer. The wealthy think differently about money and possessions. They buy luxuries last, after their assets have generated enough passive income to afford them. They understand that every dollar spent on liabilities is a dollar that can't be invested in assets. This delayed gratification allows them to build wealth faster. Blink 5. The history of taxes and the power of corporations, how the wealthy use legal structures. Understanding the history of taxes reveals how the wealthy legally minimize their tax burden while the middle class bears the heaviest tax load. Originally, taxes were temporary measures to fund wars, but they became permanent and increasingly burdensome for employees while business owners and investors enjoy numerous tax advantages. Employees earn money, pay taxes on their full income, and then spend what's left. Business owners and investors earn money, spend it on business expenses and investments, and then pay taxes only on what's left. This fundamental difference in tax treatment gives business owners and investors a significant advantage in building wealth. Corporations provide legal protection and tax advantages that individuals don't have. When you own a business through a corporation, you can deduct many expenses that employees cannot, including business meals, travel, education, and equipment. These deductions reduce your taxable income, allowing you to keep more of what you earn. Financial intelligence includes understanding how to use the tax code to your advantage. This doesn't mean doing anything illegal or unethical, but rather understanding the incentives built into the tax system and structuring your finances accordingly. The tax code rewards business ownership and investing while penalizing employment income. Blink 6. The rich invent money, how financial intelligence creates opportunities. The wealthy don't just save money. They create it through financial intelligence and creativity. They see opportunities where others see problems, and they have the knowledge and confidence to act on those opportunities. This ability to invent money comes from understanding how money and markets work. Financial intelligence allows you to see opportunities that others miss. For example, during economic downturns, the wealthy often buy assets at discounted prices while others are selling in panic. They understand that markets are cyclical and that downturns create buying opportunities for those with cash and courage. Creating wealth often requires thinking outside conventional wisdom. While most people follow the traditional path of saving money in low-yield accounts, the wealthy look for higher return investments like real estate, businesses, and stocks. They're willing to take calculated risks for the potential of higher returns. Financial intelligence includes the ability to evaluate opportunities quickly and make decisions with incomplete information. The wealthy develop pattern recognition that allows them to spot good deals and avoid bad ones. This skill comes from education, experience, and learning from both successes and failures. Blink 7. Work to learn, don't work for money. The importance of acquiring skills. Young people should choose jobs based on what they can learn rather than what they can earn. The skills you acquire early in your career are more valuable than the salary you receive because skills compound over time and open doors to greater opportunities. This long-term thinking separates the wealthy from those who remain trapped in the rat race. The most important skills for building wealth are sales and marketing. Everything in business comes down to your ability to sell, whether it's selling products, services, ideas, or yourself. People who can sell and market effectively have a tremendous advantage in business and investing because they can generate income and raise capital more easily. Many highly educated professionals become trapped in their specializations, developing deep expertise in narrow fields while neglecting broader business skills. While specialization can lead to high incomes, it can also create dependency on employers and limit opportunities for wealth building through business ownership and investing. The wealthy are generalists who understand multiple aspects of business and finance. They may not be experts in every area, but they know enough about accounting, law, sales, marketing, and investing to make informed decisions and manage teams of specialists. This broad knowledge base gives them the flexibility to adapt to changing conditions and seize new opportunities. Blink 8. Overcoming obstacles, the mental barriers to wealth. 5 main obstacles prevent people from building wealth: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Understanding and overcoming these mental barriers is crucial for financial success because they often matter more than technical knowledge or market conditions. Fear of losing money paradoxically causes people to lose money by making overly conservative choices that don't keep pace with inflation or by making emotional decisions during market volatility. The wealthy understand that some risk is necessary for building wealth and that the biggest risk is not taking any risks at all. Cynicism causes people to focus on why something won't work rather than figuring out how to make it work. Cynics often disguise their fear as sophistication, using their intelligence to rationalize inaction. The wealthy maintain optimism and focus on solutions rather than problems. Laziness often masquerades as being busy. Many people stay busy with activities that don't build wealth, using busyness as an excuse to avoid the hard work of financial education and wealth building. True laziness is avoiding the activities that could improve your financial situation. Bad habits like spending more than you earn or failing to pay yourself first prevent wealth accumulation. These habits are often learned in childhood and reinforced by society, but they can be changed with awareness and discipline. The wealthy develop habits that support wealth building and eliminate habits that work against it. Arrogance causes people to think they know everything and don't need to learn. This attitude prevents them from seeking advice, learning from mistakes, or adapting to changing conditions. The wealthy maintain humility and continue learning throughout their lives, understanding that knowledge and markets constantly evolve. The path to wealth is not about working harder for money, but about increasing your financial intelligence and building assets that generate passive income. This requires changing your mindset, acquiring financial education, and taking calculated risks. Most importantly, it requires taking action despite fear and uncertainty. Core message: financial freedom comes from building assets that generate passive income, not from working harder for money. Develop financial intelligence, mind your own business, and use the tax and legal systems to your advantage. This concludes the summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T.